Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very nice mango and peach infused spring water, very hydrating indeed. And oh, other noises of surprise are available. Let me just pause it for a moment there because there's something going on over here that is of note. Previously in Prison Architect, among other things, we were going through the reform sort of process in order to reform gang members. And if we go to programs here, we can see that gang rehabilitation and the faith program is running. We have 3 and 4 passed respectively, and the main point of interest is the tattoo removal program. There has been 1 in the queue, 1 finished, 1 passed, which means 1 inmate in here potentially is now an ex-gang member, and obviously they could have already been previously taken out, they could have left, any of those. However, I don't think that is the case because of basically upon the start of this, we can see that we have a bit of a fight, and there was an alert to say there was a fight. However, it was a bit different. It might have been, again, difficult to see. However, there was a target, a red target, to say that someone is specifically being targeted for whatever reason, and I would suspect this is because Richard Chappell here is an ex-gang member. Now, Warren Bernard is attacking them by the look of it. It says fighting and fighting, and Warren is a member of the Vipers, is that right? The green gang member. It is in gangs, and it is the Vipers, yes. And they are attacking Richard Chappell, who has an unknown reputation. However, if we check in their experience, we can see that, yes, reform program history, tattoo removal program success. So this guy is an ex-gang member. Now, people did suggest this in the previous episode's comments that we could basically put the whole prison on a lockdown and then search each individual cell for that. So having to click on an inmate and then go to experience and checking out their reform program history. That is beyond the scope of time limitation. However, this is what we are looking for. Let me go to guard response because this guy we do need to protect. And let me just unpause it here, and we can see that we have a guard coming in, Officer Payne, and oh, let me turn off free fire straight away because, well, I really don't want that going on, and I've turned off free fire. However, they're now surrendered. So, yes, even though they've got an unknown reputation, we know that they are an ex-gang member. Let me go for cancel of that and also turn off bang up and make sure that Richard Chappell is moved over to protective custody. Now, as soon as I do that, if this person is an ex-gang member, then the ex-gang member protection program will tick over and this will be completed. Let's see if that happens. Protective custody, and then we will unpause it. And there we go, that is now done. So those that image should be moved over to here. And if I go to rooms and then a kitchen, because that's the only room I haven't got, and then unpause it for a second. Oh yeah, it actually helps if I put it in the right room. Hang on, kitchen, remove that one, put it in here. No, that was right. That was correct. There we go. And grant completion, which means that we now have more money, which is great because I'm, yeah, really low on it. I am threatening, and I was going to do it at the start of the episode. I was going to threaten not just myself but the game that I will finish the tool cleanup and the gang member protection grant. And well, we've done one, and I'm coming for you now, tool cleanup, in a moment. Let's go with cell block C. We'll pick that up, and also go for. I keep looking at green machine and eco-friendly and getting all that because there's lots of tracks of water that we can make into land and then put some green energy, but I've not bothered with it at the start of the series, and I don't know if I really want to run with it here on in, but I'm going to try and hold off. I do stress try. I will try because I'm aware that it's a sort of, it's not maybe a point of contention, but it does, I mean, I like it. I think it's great, but does it make it too easy? I don't know. Not when we're currently struggling, maybe not. But I'm going to hold off for it for now. Let's go for gang welfare. That's a nice target, isn't it? But successfully we're on 15 gang members. We're now on 6%. So that's now done. A couple of things as well. I'm going to go for free fire, and I'm just going to go for supermax only. People have suggested this in the comments, and I've always refrained from it. Because we only want it for this inmate, not for the gangs. Well, people have suggested going either for max sec or super max. but Supermax being the main one. I'm going to try it for a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. So currently, the valuation is... Where is it? Oh, no, we can't see it from here. Deaths in the past 24 hours, only 1. So let's see what happens with it currently, with the free fire currently set to what it is. Obviously, if we are going to then lose loads and loads of guards, then that's going to be an issue. Speaking of guards, this guy's been on break for so long, so we're going to sack them. I'm going to also hire 1, 2, 3, 4 more janitors. And I think that covers the majority of what people have suggested. Oh, actually, wait. I do want to go for... Let's see, logistics, and it would be food distribution now because the food is not being distributed to here, which we now need it to be because we have someone in this area, and we'll have to go through and check out the needs for this because obviously we now have inmates, or at least one inmate in here. We will need things like a parole room, which I'm going to put in here. We will need a security room, which I'm going to put in here. And then we've got 3 rooms at the back for whatever. So this is for protective custody and also for reformed inmates. That's the plan. Let's see how long that actually lasts. And there you go. Okay, good. Tool cleanup I will do tonight, and I'm going to do that via a number of methods, mainly shutting off all deliveries. So another thing that people again have suggested is why don't we put some doors here and doors here? It wouldn't really do up this area, but it just means the inmates can then come down and then maybe go into this bottom bit. That's actually a good suggestion. What I'm going to do is change it to I might as well change it to a large jail door for now, like that, and I'll see how it works. Now, obviously, this is going to prove a bit of an issue because it means that stuff can be smuggled in. I'll have to change these rooms, which means shifting things around. It wouldn't be too much of an issue, truth be told. We'd have to move the CCTV, I'd have to move the TV, probably delete some chairs, etc. So we can do it. It's not a huge amount of upheaval, but it might prove to be better because more inmates will come down the bottom rather than all cycling through the top and round. Now, we'll see how we get on. We'll see how we get on. As I said, oh, there's more fighting over here. So, again, free fire is not on, so it means that we're not immediately firing. So, yeah, there we go. 2 gang members are furious because the leader is being punished. You can see Garcia is being punished there, but, yeah. Free fire is set to this area only because that is the only area set to Supermax. Let me sort this out here. Let's go for some building. We got decent money as well. I don't think I've got any... No, I've not got any things I can hand back in. So, visitor table will go in here. Security is a standard procedure, so we're going to go with a maybe... it's not in the... There's no middle on this one, so I'm going to put in maybe... I like it. I always like it sort of facing the door. So we'll put that in there. We'll put a filing cabinet there. We'll put in a maybe that in here, and then let me see, a couple of chairs in the corner, and that should do quite nicely. Good. So we've got a yard. We've got a canteen. No prisoners decide to eat at that canteen. That is incorrect. That should be fine. I don't need to assign someone there because the patrols are on the go. Let me just double check. Where is our inmate? Let's go with prisoners and protective custody. They are... they're in here, so they're in solitary. Let me end the punishment there and let them be escorted back because I want to see if this ticks over to having someone actually eat there, because it should be. That should be in logistics and our food distribution. That is all set. I don't know why that's having a distribution. I think that's where I placed something previously. Basically, the whole logistics thing is messed up. Speaking of logistics, we are going to mess around with that in but a moment. We'll have to see. I'm just going to lock open this door, by the way, because obviously people are going through it, and this is a bit of a test. So if this is going to be a permanent thing, then I'll have to shift things around. So let's see. We do have prison intake on the go. We have grants on the go as well. We have decent current balance, but the cash flow is problematic. Let's see how we get on. Obviously, we do have guards. We have 29 regular guards and only how many inmates? A total of maximum safe capacity is 73. Current maximum security is 49. So, yeah. So the guys are bringing stuff in, as you can see, and we're waiting for this recycler stuff to go. That visitor boat is once again stuck. I think I'm going to go for another couple of docks because, again, this is something that I think might be of some benefit. And, yeah, we're ironically bringing docks in via the dock. And we'll see. Basically, this allows me to, basically, it just allows for a bit of a buffer, shall we say? If stuff gets stuck on these boat docks, I don't have to worry about it. There you go. Look, loads of stuff coming in, loads of boats. However, what I'm going to do now is go over to logistics and deliveries and sorry, no, where is it? Transport, and turn off every single thing here. And do a shakedown. So nothing is being brought in via the boat. And nothing can be brought in via the helicopter because that was previously turned off, as is shown there, yes. And it means I'm going to do a full shakedown, which means only stuff can be thrown over. So hopefully I can remove the stolen tools and weapons, which is almost certainly not going to happen. But, well, there we go. And why is my bank balance dropped to pretty much half since I last checked it? Almost certainly some reoffending. There has been some reoffending, yes. But it doesn't tell me when. Huh, there we go. 20 grand advance payment, 20 grand completion payment for doing the tool cleanup. So yeah, apparently threatening the game and doing this has worked out. Okay. What else can we get? Achieve 100 reformed prisoners after release. Restaurant, bakery, farming. None of that's going to happen. Criminally insane, no. Prison grading. Paroled early 11. 18% reoffending rate. That's dropped from, was it 27% previously? Pretty good, but if I check reform here, it's on 65. So it's actually trending in the right direction. But I don't fancy picking that up. Reform to Education Initiative, that'll be based on programs. Nobody is bothered about doing the foundation or general education qualification. So I could go with Green Machine. And that would help me out, wouldn't it? And then we can go eco-friendly and then run everything off green energy. I didn't start with it, but I might end up with it. Yeah, go on. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to pick it up. I like the idea of it, and, well, I don't think there's any great reason not to do it, other than the challenge of not starting with it. Because previously we've started with it and just placed loads of it down and then just gain money from the beginning. I think it's valid to say that either we sack more inmates, and sack more guards, in which case the inmates will run riot, because it's a, you know, it's pretty much a full gang facility, or we go bankrupt. So yeah, pick one, I guess. I'm gonna go with this. So let me go over to, I guess I'm just going to stop the shakedown. We don't really need to do that. Let me go over to landscaping. Now, there's a couple of ways you can build on the water, and you can, in fact, use stepping stones. So place like a big row of stepping stones along here, and then basically build like an artificial island or just steps, and then put in the green energy. You can do it that way. It is possible. It's not great because it often glitches out. So I'm going to basically make an island for our green energy. So it's going to be just a bit of a brick like this, and I'm going to obviously try and make it a bit less sort of squarish like this. And again, it's sort of trying to make it random, and obviously we will change this up. And I like the idea of it coming down and maybe connecting up to the mainland here. Absolutely destroying my mouse in the process, but whatever. So I'll put a couple of extra bits in here, because why not? Like that, and then around here. So it's coming in around, and then like this, and like that, and then like that. Okay, so I don't know if that looks, like, say, artificial or not, but it is what it is. And now we need to put in the green energy. So we need 3 bits of green energy for each grant. No, we need 1 bit actually, but we need to put 3 in first, and then it gives us the rest. So, for example, I'm going to build that along here like so. Let's put in the solar. I think I'm just going to put the solar around here actually. So I'm just going to do that, and obviously the workers will have to crack on and build this. There's water around here. This is supposed to have pathways around it, and I've just never got around to it. There you go. I've actually done a series where we just focus a lot on landscaping. Starting off with a very small plot and going from there. Never really done it. So there is 3 solar panels. You need to build 1 solar panel, 1 wind turbine, and 1 wind/solar hybrid, but you need to buy 3 of each to unlock the next one, which is why we're doing it this way. I'm just going to double check our gangs, because it's always best to check to see if we've got any gang officers, which we have not. There we go. Obviously, keeping an eye on these doors here. I think they are going to become a permanent solution, and I will, for the sake of symmetry, do the same up here. If it becomes, like I say, a permanent one. And, oh yeah, I should probably turn on the transport links to actually allow people to come in. That would help, wouldn't it? There we go. Okay, and then we're going to see loads of money go down because, yeah, all this stuff turning up. Wind turbine is now unlocked, so we will place in the wind turbine, and it's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll then get wind solar hybrid, and we're going to go with 1, 2, 3, and then that should now be unlocked, and that should be green machine done once this is installed. Yeah, okay. We also have to worry about the storms that are coming. People have suggested, well, that we do need more backup generators, and I do agree. One of the things I want to do is build more backup generators, probably on this island. In fact, I might demolish... No, I won't demolish this power block. I'll keep that for like, the future, in case we need to turn it back on. But we'll obviously have to do all the wiring and stuff. But this is the... I don't know what you would call it. But basically, you've got the transformer. This will be the AC side, not the DC side. So it's from all of the wind solar hybrids, all of the green energy stuff, it then needs to go into the transformer. And then it goes out to the grid. So I can put that in. I can put it in here, but I'm not... oh, no, I need to put batteries around this, don't I? So, ideally then, where am I going to put this? I mean, there would suffice. It's a bit dodgy, but then that would come out here, out and then down, but I'd have to go across the water, and I don't know how that's going to work. I'm going to put it to there, and then I want a... Where is it? Power switch. There, and then we'll connect that up. That should be fine. We also need in wiring, green energy production. All green energy sources need to be connected to a transformer, which we are now working on. Power export meter needs to go in, which technically can just go on the corner there. I hope there's no, like, sort of flooding. Oh, so here we go. This is something we don't often see. This is solar panels. You see there's a negative symbol there. That's because power production has been negatively affected by the current weather. So weather and temperature, as well as the green energy stuff, does go hand in hand, really, I do find. And it's a nice thing there. Oh, let me go ahead and... So we need to connect up this. In fact, for the sake of completeness, I'm just going to do that. And also sell that utility there, because it's a bit of a nightmare. And then we need to... oh, no. Ooh, nearly made a massive mistake there, didn't I? Right, okay, let me run this down to there. Yeah, that would have been a huge explosion on the grid. It would have just shut the entire place down. Yeah, we need more of these backup generators, which I'm going to place across here because you get you get storms, and this happens, and well, you can see it has actually happened. Let's go with eco-friendly. And we're going to get that grant, hopefully. We need more wind solar hybrids. I will have to get a proper grant. Yeah, for this one. Let's see. So all the batteries go in, and oh, look at that. So what's happening now? It's a bit of a nightmare, actually. I've got a power switch here, but I really need one in and around here. Let me sort that out. This is going to run across and to there, and then along like that, and then I'm going to sell this. And then a power switch. So I can cycle between the two grids. Although, this needs to connect to there, and then we need to sell that. And technically all of that. And then this. So, hopefully once this is connected, it will mean a couple of things. Now I don't know what's going off. Let me toggle that off for now. So it means that the grid should be running through either this or this. Now, you don't have to have them mutually exclusive. You can have the power station and the green energy, as long as it's been put through the transformer. It says overloaded. Transformers must not be on the same circuit. We haven't got transformers on the same circuit. But yeah, I believe you can put them together as long as they're, like, say, by the power station and the transformer. But I'm just making it so they're individual. I don't know if there's a way to isolate the two properly. But the weather is what's causing the big issue there. So I'm not going to worry about it too much for now. Because, like I say, it's the weather that's causing the massive problems. You see the power's still going in. And once the storm has passed, no weather predictions because the storm has knocked out the... the storm has knocked out the... the weather station. We do have... Oh, dearie me. We have Eddie Garcia once again, who is smashing stuff up. We have sadly lost a dog handler. I will hire another dog handler. And free fire is on. And you can see they've taken a blast to the face. Then another one and they're now unconscious. There we go. So I'll wait until the storm has passed. I'll wait until all this is back in. Because that should be okay now. And sell utility that. Now if I turn on this, it won't work. Because we don't have enough power. Overloaded. But I don't think it is overloaded. I think it's actually connected fine. Because the power comes down here, well, from these two, through the transformer, into the grid. From here, it comes through here, through that, and then out to the grid. But this one's turned off. So, like I said, I think it's basically just the storm. But I'm going to keep that off. And I do need more backup generators. That's something I will look into at some point. But there's the power back on. And then this power on. And then the facility comes on. Good. However, we need to make sure we run things off green energy. And we can't afford it. So I'm going to get a bank loan. A big bank loan. 50 grand. Because wind solar hybrid is getting placed. Up to there. And then that might be able to run this thing. I do need to wire up the power export meter so we can export power. And obviously we still have to... Why is that? Enclosed? That's not enclosed. Is that a tunnel? I believe it is. It is a tunnel. Okay, just check there elsewhere. No, just that one. Interesting. Okay. And... Oh, okay. Killed by a rival gang member with a drill? Where did Paul Hornick get a drill? Looks like the guards have dealt with that. I can't say whether or not turning off free fire has had a positive effect. We've still got deaths. 11 available armed guards. I think we have lost an armed guard. How many do we need? 12 armed guards, 9 on patrol, 1 on break, 5 need a break, 11 available. So we actually do need them so they can go on break. And wait, have we lost an armed guard? No, we lost another dog. Say another dog handler. Okay. So more inmates coming in and down the bottom, I think, because of this. So that is going to be a permanent solution now. These are obviously turned off. If I was to turn this on, let's see if it breaks things. It does not. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, that doesn't like that. It doesn't like that at all. Off. There we go. And all of these can turn on. That can turn on. There you go. These all should connect up and start working. And start exporting, which they are. Turn on. Are they all connected? I believe they are. Let me just double check the grid. Yeah, they're all changing colours to this correct one. Switch off. Switch on. Yeah, they're all actuating. They're all spinning around. So the question is, can I turn that off, shutting the grid down, and turn that on? Yes, I can. Can I turn this off? Off. It is off. And eco-friendly is now activated. We are able to run the facility off green energy. Good. Potential CI will recruit Paul Hornick, who had a drill previously. Okay, good. So money is still a problem. And it is mainly from guard wages. But we shall see. Like I say, hopefully the green energy will help us out. Our clothes are looking pretty tatty. Well, you can see there's loads of prisoner uniforms, and I have hired almost double the amount of janitors. We had 6 up to 10. But danger level is medium. And obviously gangs are furious. Yeah, we can see we've got... It's all working out. Let me just move that there. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of things. Let's go to dismantle. And how am I going to do this? So what I want to do is make it so that we have a better way in the bottom. And I don't just want a gap of 1. So I'm going to remove 2 sets of these. And that. And that. It's going to be a bit of an overhaul on this one. But I think it's worth our time and effort. Doors. Standard jail door. I will also go for wiring. Dos suevos. And that'll go in there. And in here. And in here. Like so. The rooms, common room will be removed. That bit. That bit. And that bit. And then TVs will be shifted down. So it'll all be the same, assuming I haven't made a mistake, which is almost certainly the case. And yeah, okay. We have lots of spare room to take in more prisoners. We do. 100 prisoners. What if I was to get inmates and just put them in the holding cell? It is possible. How many do I need? Maximum safe capacity is 73. But it's not really the case because I need... Oh, yeah. Fill capacity for a start. Just fill capacity. That'll help sort that out. Apparently there's a tunnel there, and it is possible that is the case. Okay. What I want to do is... I do want to activate... Oh, it's too late. It's too late in the day. Or late in the morning. It's too late to get that. Alright. I want to make sure... I want to see if I could, yeah, go for a bit of a chat with our inmates. Alright. These are getting sorted. Let me go over to some concrete. And the concrete is going to go in here. In here. And in here. Like that. We'll have in objects. And it is large TV. So large TV there. Large TV there. And this one as well. But I'm not going to buy it because, well, we've already got one getting dismantled. Okay. And obviously the weather is poor. Very poor. But it is what it is. We receive more inmates. Let me just go for this. Potential CIs. Paul Holdaway. Recruited foreman. Check gangs. No officers. Yeah. We've done series before where... Ooh, that's cold. We've done series before where we have just let gangs run riot. The problem is, if you do what we do now, which is basically have the gang leaders away and not allow them to recruit, you still get gang fights and, you know, incidents and such. Ex-law enforcement. Yep. Looks like the guards are dealing with it, though. A bit after the fact, though. Yeah. You do yeah, you do have a bit of an issue when it comes to gangs. You either sort of stop what they're doing, in which case makes people upset. Otherwise, you let them run riot, in which case it makes people upset. So you can't really win with them. What I was going to do is security, actually. Let's check. Vulnerable. There we go. We got a couple of vulnerable inmates. Levers and Savage. So ex-gang member. Protective custody. Oh, interesting. This is good that I've checked this. Savage. Yeah, they're vulnerable. Ex-law enforcement, but not ex-gang members. So let me just double check our programs here. We can see that. Tattoo removal 2 passed. Good. It's slowly starting to work. First aid training, we're going to fire up. Pest control, no. Cold training. I will do cold training. Yeah, it's slowly starting to come together. I don't know what else we need in here. These are all being frozen. Why is it all frozen up? I mean, I've got the pipework insulated. Is it not? Yeah, pipe insulation is all over the place. However, temperature. It's a little bit cold in a couple of places. Should probably put some sort of radiator in the shop. I'll sort that out after I've done these. And I don't know why it's taken ages to do that. Cancel that. Cancel that. Cancel. Right. Now, shift it there. Okay. Danger level is flying up because... Why? Probably the cold, I'm guessing. Let me go to needs. What a surprise, there's a huge one to need. Okay. Well, we're going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. I would like to think that has been a... Oh, flu outbreak. Don't know what I can do about that. Prisoners can get... I don't know what the term would be. Inoculated or treated. But you have to basically go through and check to see how many inmates have got the flu. And lock them up. There's already 5. Okay. Let me just recruit some more confidential informants. We're going to leave it there for now. Like I said, that's been a bit of Prison Architect. I'd like to think this has been a successful episode and a bit of a recovery in that we have got now reformed gang members. We are working on that. The reform level has decreased. We have got more logistics. We've done the grants that have been stuck in the queue for oh so long, as well as started work on green energy, which I think obviously could be a bit of a point of contention for some people, but it's going to allow us to save and continue on, which I think is the main thing. Good. Okay. Next episode, we will continue on. We'll deal with this flu outbreak. We'll try and finish eco-friendly. We're obviously working on gang welfare, which is excellent. And obviously, at some point, I'll put some flooring in. So thanks very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll go from there. Hope you have enjoyed it. Take care, and generic partings.